day 4 of our listing challenge. Today I'm going to be sharing you how to get those listings up quickly. So if that sounds awesome, stay tuned. Hi everyone, it's Stephanie from Three Queens Resale, and if you are new to my channel, thank you so much for joining me. And if you are returning, hey, I gotta straighten my collar. Hey reseller besties, I love and appreciate you, and thank you so much for being a part of my positive reseller community. If you are a regular watcher of my channels, let me know how the volume is. I've really been working with that to make sure you guys can hear me, because it's been a lot of time and effort on creating these videos, so I want to make sure that you can hear the information at your comfort level. So in the comments, if you can hear me, just give me a thumbs up and I'll let know that what I did worked out. So today's video, well, let me introduce myself again. For those of you who are new, because I do have some new subscribers, I resell full-time, but I also have another job that I do full-time as a home-based caseworker. I started reselling full-time in August. Previous to that, I taught middle school for 23 years. So I quit my job in June and decided to do resell full time. I had been reselling part time for about 2.5 years, and I love it. I love sustainable living. I love rescuing things from the landfill, and I love being my own boss. So that's why I'm here. So today's video is the third video on different aspects of listing for our listing challenge. We're on day 4 of our listing challenge, and if you have been successful in listing all 4 days, go ahead in the comments and say me, hey me, look at me, and let us know if how many of the items you've listed have already sold. So for instance, on day 4, my goal was to list 20 items a day. So I should be at my 80th listing today in 4 days. And of my 80 listings, I've sold 5. But other listings have also sold as well. And I often think that adding new listings promotes selling items that were already in your closet as well, because traffic is going to continue to come to your closet. So if you are got perfect attendance, you understood the assignment, and you've been up on your listings, yay you, huge pat on the back and happy dance for you. So if you haven't, that's okay. You're doing the best that you can. We're just going to keep keeping on. Today is a new day. You get your listings up, and then if you want to make them up or later in the week, that's on you. If you want to do double, that's on you. But this is a challenge to motivate and make you feel good about doing something for your business. We want to hold ourselves accountable, so really try to get those things done. But you know what? Life happens. So if you can't, you can't. But make sure you are holding yourself accountable. So, tips for today: how to get listings up quickly. So, I have in my head that it takes a long time to do listings, so I feel like I have to have like this big empty mass of time to get it done. However, when I sit down and time myself, I'm surprised at how much I can get done in an hour. I can get about 10 to 12 listings done in an hour, and that's not even with me being 100% focused. So I wanted to share with you how I do that. And if you are even quicker, awesome. Put your tips in the comments so that we can all try them out. And definitely, if you have a YouTube video, put that in the comments, a link in the comments, so that we can go check you out, because the more information that we have, the better that we can get. And people approach things differently. As I mentioned, I taught school for 23 years, and sometimes, I would go sit in a different teacher to see how she taught something, and it just gave a different perspective, and so that I could share that perspective with kids. And sometimes we'd switch kids around because they didn't do well with me but they did well with someone else, or vice versa. So it's good to not just watch my videos but go watch other people's videos. Everybody's going to have a different take and not one size fits all. So I'm going to get into my 5 tips. The first is to create a template so that you can list quickly. So I have some templates that I'll link one up here to show you. But so for instance, this template that I'm showing you is my templates for tops and sweaters. So the information there is just standard. So I have a standard title. So of course I type my title in over that. I say most things are good pre-owned condition. To get an excellent from me is, if I change it to excellent, then it is basically new with tags without the tags. And if it's new with tags, it's new with tags. So I just have like the basic, like casual top, but it could be formal top or strapless top, button front. If it's not button front, I would say something else special about it. If it's collared, I say it's collared. If it's not collared here in this place, I would put what it is. Like, is it a V-neck? Is it a scoop neck? Sleeve length, the pattern, and the fit. Then anything else, like if it's got zippers or sequins or some polka dot pattern, I list those things under. Then fabric content, I just pop that in. Measurements, I change the numbers to fit the item. And then garment comes from pet-free and smoke-free home, is always there. So I copy and paste this into list perfectly, which I'll talk about in a minute, and just make the details to fit the item, and it goes really quick because I don't even have to think about what goes next. Like, I don't like write it in a little paragraph form. I just look for those item specifics. For instance, if it had pockets, I would include that on here too. And I can do this all based off my photos. I don't have to have the garment in front of me. So that's the first thing, is to create templates. I will share mine in the description below. They're just what I've done. I'm sure you people are wonderful and can come up with something way more detailed. But if you just need a jumping off point, mine are linked below. And if you create some ones that I don't have, be sure to share them with me. Fair is fair. The next is to list the same thing, or try to. For instance, if I'm listing dresses, I try to list like 5 dresses in a row. Just because then my mind doesn't have to refocus for each different item. So there's going to be certain keywords with dresses that I'm going to use only with dresses, like A-line or shift or full skirt. So it just gets my mind thinking about that one specific thing. And believe it or not, I liken it to back when I was a teacher and an answer key. That's what doing this does. I didn't grade. If I had worksheet 1, I graded all the worksheet 1s because I memorized the answer key and I could do it quickly. I didn't grade some worksheet 1s, a 2, a 3, a 4, jump back to 1. I did all 1s, then I did all 2s, then I did all 3s. So that's kind of my thinking, because my brain is focused and I'm a tad bit ADHD. So if I try to skip around, I'll lose focus and I'll lose time and it will slow me down and I'll be like, there went a squirrel. So I just try to focus on one category at a time. So if I'm doing shoes, and you'll see it in my closet, the way things are naturally grouped. You'll see like that there are 17 pairs of shoes in a row. Like if you order my closet by Just In, you'll see that there's 8 pair of pants in a row, or a slew of tops, because I pick a category and just really try to list just that for a few. And then switch to another one. That way I don't have to continue to refocus my brain, and I can just keep copying and pasting my template, and it makes me, I feel, get listings up super fast. So tip 1 was to create templates. Tip 2 is to list in the same category for that listing period that you're in. So if you're like, I'm going to sit down and bang out 5 items, 5 listings, try to list 5 dresses or 5 tops or 5 pairs of jeans. Tip number 4 is use a listing service like List Perfectly. Now, it took me a long time to get on board with this. I am a slow adapter to everything. So, but I'm here and I'm willing to say that I wish I would have done it longer or earlier. So I create now the listings in List Perfectly, and then I push them out to Poshmark first. But then they're just there so that when my husband gets time, he can cross-list them over to the other platforms. So by listing copying the template into List Perfectly and just doing it in there real quickly, they're there for when I don't have to do it again for the other platforms. So since I'm already doing it once, it just cuts out the steps for the other platforms. So it doesn't necessarily help me speed up the process at first of listing it to Poshmark, but it does expedite the process of cross-listing it so I don't have to recreate the listing for eBay or Mercari or any other place. So use a template, list the same things, try to use a listing cross-listing platform or app. And my friend, A Reseller's Passion, her code is linked below. So if you aren't subscribed to List Perfectly, you can use her code, and I think you get like 30% off or something your first purchase. And I think there's like a free 10-day trial or something. I'm not sure, but you can try it out, see if you like it. If you don't, you don't. And I copied and pasted for 2.5 years. So if that's what you prefer, then you do it. You do you, babe. Then tip 5, don't get hung up on stock photos. I use Google Lens to search stock photos. And sometimes I'll find it, but it's not a good photo. So if it's got the style name in there, then I'll search Poshmark for that item with the style name, and a lot of times I'll find a stock photo. I don't use stock photos for everything. It is not really allowed. That's a copyright issue, and you will get in trouble on some of the platforms, and then some of the platforms, they turn a blind eye to it. You do you, but do not spend a lot of time searching for stock photos. Take good photos on your own, which we will talk about in our next video. But if you want to use a stock photo, I primarily like to use stock photos so people can see how it's styled. And you can't find it on the garment, the style number on the garment, then you could use Google Lens and it will help you find it relatively quickly. And then my last and 5th tip, this is to batch your work. So I do work with my husband. My husband and I are partners. So he started working with me this fall, and he takes all the photos. But the set of items is measured all at once. So maybe I think he does like 25, 14, I don't know. He changes. I think it's 15 items at a time now. So he'll measure those 15 items, steam those 15 items, photograph those 15 items, package those 15 items. I will list those 15 items in batches. So once again, it's about your brain focusing on one thing, and then it's done, and then it's packaged and put away in its home and put on the inventory sheet all in the same day so that you don't have to keep touching it and you don't get confused. I've tried several different systems, but batching the steps has been the best and most productive way for us to do things. Even when I was working alone, I had switched over to batching the steps. And so then when my husband started doing the photos, I just trained him in that same manner. So whatever your processing system is, some people put it on the inventory spreadsheet first, then measure and all that. Whatever it is, I suggest that you batch the different steps into manageable chunks so that you completely have a set done and over with, because in reselling there's always work to do. We rarely run out of things to source, because when I see that my husband is low, he has a basket in there that to hang. When that basket's getting low or empty, or there's only one IKEA bag to process, then I'll go sourcing, or I'll make sure he has some stuff to source. So those are my 5 tips for getting listings up quickly, at least on Poshmark. I find that Poshmark is the quickest platform to list on. I am also the most familiar with it, and I do the most business on there. So maybe that's why it's just inherently easier for me. If you like this video, please be sure to give me a thumbs up. Consider subscribing to the channel and joining us in our listing challenge. It's not too late. You decide how many items you want to list a day and on what platform, and then we're going to cheer you on, and you're going to share your progress with us in the comments down below or on Instagram. My Instagram is 3queens_resell, and I would love for you to check me out and just send me a hey girl hey, and we can be reseller besties. So until next time, thank you so much for watching, and today is the halfway point. We're over halfway done with the challenge, and so I hope that you are having good results. Until the next time, happy listing.